Week 2 in college football is usually reserved for the cupcake matchups, where the powerhouse programs usually schedule lesser programs, and as a result, it yields a very predictable outcome. However, we saw some very late game heroics in the Southeastern Conference, and in addition, some programs suffered very tough losses, and as a result, their head coaches may find themselves on the hot seat. The Florida Gators suffered a stunning 18-16 loss at the hands of the South Florida Bulls. Gators quarterback DJ Lagway failed to put the Gators in the end zone the entire first half, and in addition, the Gators racked up over 100 yards worth of penalties, and they squandered multiple opportunities to put points on the board. Meanwhile, the Bulls of South Florida showed grit and determination as they were willing to show the Gators that they didn't come to Gainesville to back down. Late in the fourth quarter, the Bulls found themselves trailing 15-16, and Nico Gramatica, the son of Pro Bowler and All-American at Kansas State and Super Bowl champion Martin Gramatica, kicked the winning field goal within the waning minutes of the game to put the Bulls up 18-16 over the Florida Gators. With this stunning victory over the University of Florida, South Florida has defeated ranked teams in consecutive weeks. The Mississippi State Bulldogs of the Southeastern Conference suffered one of the worst records in school history back in 2024, as they had an abysmal 2-10 record, and they were looking to turn things around as they faced the 12th-ranked Arizona State Sun Devils. Despite Mississippi State and their solid play on defense, they have been known to struggle and be completely anemic on offense, and in surprising fashion, they jumped to a 17-point lead over the Arizona State Sun Devils. The Bulldogs carried this momentum into the second half. Their defense, otherwise solid, they gave up over 200 yards rushing, and Mississippi State found themselves trailing 17-20 with seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. As a Mississippi State alumni, we're accustomed to the Bulldogs blowing the lead late in the second half. However, in dramatic fashion, quarterback Blake Shapen hit receiver Brennan Thompson on a crossing route that yielded a 58-yard touchdown as the Bulldogs won the game in dramatic fashion as time expired 20-24. As Mississippi State faces Alcorn State next week, they're in prime position to begin their season 3-0, which is a stark contrast from that abysmal 2-10 season back in 2024. In the marquee matchup of the day, the 15th-ranked Michigan Wolverines went on the road to face the 18th-ranked Oklahoma Sooners. Freshman quarterback and phenom Bryce Underwood inked one of the largest name, image, and likeness deals in history, as Michigan literally broke the bank to acquire this talented quarterback. As Bryce Underwood inked a substantial name, image, and likeness deal, this placed him under immense pressure to perform on the road against the Oklahoma Sooners, and the Sooners defense, they completely dominated as they swarmed Bryce Underwood and that entire Michigan offense, as the Wolverines accounted for only one offensive touchdown the entire game. Meanwhile, Oklahoma Sooner quarterback and recent transfer from Washington State, John Mateer, threw for 270 yards passing, and he accounted for a total of 3 touchdowns between rushing and passing, as the Oklahoma Sooners dominated the Michigan Wolverines at home, 24-13. In other notable games, the Oklahoma State Cowboys suffered a crushing 69-3 defeat on the road as they were destroyed by the Oregon Ducks. And meanwhile, the Vanderbilt Commodores, coming off of that epic 2024 season, are continuing that momentum as they went on the road to Blacksburg, Virginia, and they dismantled the Virginia Tech Hokies 44-20. We might be witnessing the changing of the guards in real time, as historically consistent team the Oklahoma State Cowboys are continuing the struggle, and their head coach Mike Gundy is finding himself on the hot seat despite being one of the most tenured coaches in college football. Meanwhile, teams are finding out the hard way that scheduling the Vanderbilt Commodores as a supposed cupcake game is resulting in possibly a crushing defeat. Week 2 is usually reserved for the predictable cupcake matchups. However, we saw a few shocking outcomes, and we saw a few programs such as Clemson who struggled against lesser opponents, and their weaknesses were exposed on national television. As we enter Week 3, we'll see what teams will emerge as contenders for the college football playoff. Meanwhile, we'll see what coaches that will remain on the hot seat that could ultimately lead in a vacancy in the ever-revolving coaching carousel. What were your thoughts from the Week 2 matchups, and what are your predictions for college football for Week 3 and beyond? I want you to leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And thank you for tuning in for another episode of College Football Legends. And remember to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel so you'll never miss an episode of College Football Legends. Until next time.